Just hours ago, Supreme Court nominee Judge Amy Coney Barrett released her opening statement ahead of tomorrow's first confirmation hearing. Coney Barrett says, in part, the policy decisions and value judgments of government must be made by the political branches elected by and accountable to the people. The public should not expect courts to do so, and courts should not try. Joining me now is Melissa Murray, NYU professor of law, featured on the new podcast Talking Feds, Women at the Table, and Harry Lippman, former U.S. attorney and host of Talking Feds podcast. Hi, guys. It's so good to see you both back again. I want to ask both of you what your interpretation is of her statement, starting with you, Melissa.
Well, I think she goes a long way in the statement to answer questions that people have about her particular views. There's a statement about her father countering the view that boys are better by telling her that anything boys can do, girls can do better. I think that's supposed to be something to maybe soothe those who worry that her views may be regressive for women. And there's also a statement about how closely she would follow the legal precedent set by her own mentor, Justice Scalia. So she said she would be a judge in the mold of Justice Scalia, and that he is going to be faithful to the meaning, the original meaning of the Constitution as framed in 1787, and that in terms of her approach to statutory interpretation, she's going to interpret statutes according to the words in those statutes.
Okay, Harry, same question to you. What's your perspective?
I thought it was really pretty bland. The sentence that you highlighted, she said, she did mention Scalia, but didn't elaborate much. And there's quite a lot about her family, her personal background, both her parents and children, even relative to other previous nominees. It's a very sort of down the middle, hewing to safe harbors kind of statement, I thought.
Is there anything about that one sentence, though, that we showed you that you can take away kind of what her judicial, I guess, rudder would be if she were to serve on the Supreme Court, Harry?
I mean, the short answer is no, other than really kinds of safe statements. What Melissa says is true, but we already knew she would come in and say, I'm in the model of Justice Scalia. Courts should not make policy choices. Those are pretty uncontroversial at this point. She did add at the very end that she believes in the power of prayer, which I think, would attract some attention. She didn't have to say that, though we know it's true. But I think for the most part, it's a very sort of safe, down the middle, in the wake statement.
Yeah. So, Melissa, Democrats are certainly expressing concerns about what Barrett's nomination could mean for legal precedents. Let's take a listen to what two senators had to say about it.
We want her on that court to hear the Affordable Care Act case on November 10th, 1 week after the election, so that she can strike it down. That is her view on the Affordable Care Act. Then I will be focused on her stated views on a woman's right to choose abortion.
She is being sent on assignment to the Supreme Court by President Trump, and we know what that assignment is. Eliminate the Affordable Care Act, which protects 23 million Americans, and be there if the president needs her on an election contest.
So, Melissa, combine her statement today and what we know about Judge Barrett and her history, previous statements and the like. Do you think she will vote to overturn the Affordable Care Act or Roe v. Wade if given the chance?
I think it's actually really interesting that neither senator mentioned Roe versus Wade, but it seems that Judge Barrett's statement is aimed exclusively at sort of assuaging fears that she would do so. There's a lot, as Harry says, about her family, about her commitment to her children. She says that she will fill Justice Ginsburg's seat, but she could not fill her shoes, that those shoes are huge. But again, I think the reason why she is going to be nominated and why she will likely be confirmed is because she's going to be a reliable conservative vote on the court. That's why she's been vetted. That's why she's there. I don't know if that means she'll be a vote to strike down the Affordable Care Act. The case is quite complicated in certain respects. I'm not sure if it means that she will vote to give the election to President Trump, if that's something that does happen. But we know that she is there to bolster the conservative wing of the court, which already enjoys a 5-member majority. This would make it a 6-person supermajority.
Okay, so on the heels of what Melissa just said there, Harry, as somebody who studies the law, is there any necessity or justification behind packing the court?
I mean, the short answer is no. And when it's happened in the past, it's really been to the court's discredit, not to mention the American people. So I think there's very good reason to think if it's properly presented, for example, she would vote to overturn Roe versus Wade. Now, Michael Moore just explained 70% of the American people are against that. That doesn't mean, it shouldn't be a litmus test that anything the American people are against that the court shouldn't do. But I think there will be a series of cases, one after the other, over the next possibly 20, 30 years, where she will vote to do things that not just the American people, but the legal profession would say are wrong. And we will have, as Melissa says, a supermajority for that. When that's happened before, like in the Roosevelt era, it's been tough times for the court, not to mention the people.
You know, Melissa, Republicans have accused the Democrats of attacking her religious beliefs during her appeals court confirmation back in 2017. And then you had Senator Dianne Feinstein during that time saying, quote,